Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Avengers issue 36. And this was a pretty doozy of an issue because it took some turns that I wasn't expecting and also gave us some expanded history on Black Panther and some history his ancient counterpart has had with like Mjolnir and everything. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. So the way this issue is lined out, though, is that it goes between various kind of different places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go more in the chronological order that it actually makes sense in. So we start off and we see that Moon Knight is like on the moon, kind of contemplating everything. He usually likes being more of the street level hero, and now he's dealing with all kinds of insanity. This then leads him to talking with the Unseen, and of course the Unseen has seen his prayers and detailing everything with Mephisto, and relates to him that he's praying to the wrong god. He needs to pray to the thing that eats these things. It's like, eats these things? That sounds kind of different. But that he also needs these weapons from the dawn of man. Well, a lot of things that we're seeing is the Sorcerer Supreme stuff. They're going for the Black Panther blood, Mjolnir, Ghost Rider. Only thing we haven't really had show up yet at this point is like the Phoenix Force and everything. And like we've also had Doctor Strange's things as well. So it's like, okay, we'll kind of have to see where that kind of goes on. So we see that had become a portion of what was been dealing with. We also then see intercut things as we get to the now. But we have like one more link to get in there. So we see that T'Challa was pretty much going to whoop ass on Khonshu because he's doing shit wrong. He's like, saving the world does not involve subjugating it and doing all these horrendous things that you're doing and taking all these powers like you are. We do this by doing it together. I'm like, yeah. And he's still kind of messed up, though. But yet he can still handle what's going on. Of course, Khonshu tries to use Mjolnir on him, and of course, Mjolnir recognizes T'Challa. And evidently, we've seen that T'Challa's 1 million BC counterpart has wielded Mjolnir at some point. So evidently Mjolnir recognizes T'Challa as part of the Panther tribe, and is like, yo, you good, kind of stuff. Now granted, at the million BC, it's kind of iffy if the worthiness kind of aspect was in play with Mjolnir, but we do see that Mjolnir resonates with T'Challa, and he'd pretty much be, I'd have no problem with him being deemed worthy. It's more the technicalities of like, okay, we recognize that the storm recognizes T'Challa, and probably even the worthiness enchantment. It just gets into like timeline things. I have no problem with T'Challa being worthy of Mjolnir and having that kind of fight with Khonshu to try and use it. That was pretty kind of awesome, as he's like, come to me, Mjolnir, aid me and you shall be free. And I'm like, yeah, T'Challa knows what he's doing. And of course this is when Moon Knight pops in from the moon's like, yeah, screw this noise. But of course Khonshu at this point has used his Sorcerer Supreme abilities to make T'Challa look like Mephisto. And that pretty much gets us into the part of where we see Moon Knight and T'Challa having an amazing drag out brawl fight. Like two of the most kind of well-known hand-to-hand combat experts. Now granted, I know not a lot of people know Moon Knight and his kind of like combat abilities, but he's pretty up there. And T'Challa's definitely up there as well. So this is a very well done and well drawn fight, and showing all the different kind of techniques that they do. T'Challa, of course, is trying to talk him down, but of course we don't get until like the meatiest portion of the fight that he thinks that he's looking at Mephisto and trying to stop Mephisto with all the things that he's got. Of course, Khonshu at this point, well, at the beginning of the fight, had pretty much used the Ghost Rider's powers to wrangle Mjolnir as much as possible as he blasts off to try and get the Starbrand's power. So, let's see, how do we want to do this? Pretty much we just see them fighting and trying to figure out what's going on. T'Challa's trying to help him, saying that they've got the best mental health stuff that they can do to help him. He's like, you're Mephisto, you're the devil kind of thing. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of what's going on. But we see that there's a little bit more to what he's doing than meets the eye for Moon Knight anyway, because he is not just thinking that this is Mephisto. He is also doing this with a specific purpose and praying to a specific entity, not Khonshu. So we have that information in hand. We then shift over and we see that Tony and Carol are trying to get the Starbeam baby as far away as possible. Carol's like, you really need to tell us what happened in the Stone Age, man. He's like, listen, this shit ain't over. We kind of need to get out of here. And of course, they still get kind of close to Thor doing his stuff in the moon. He's like, wait a minute, I feel like my gold fillings are vibrating. What the hell's going on? And of course, Khonshu's like, comes up on him, grabs him with the Ghost Rider powers. Like, yeah, I'll be a gracious God and let you have one final prayer to the Spirit of Vengeance before I take your asses out. And Carol, of course, is unsuccessfully trying to get the Starbrand baby away because evidently the Starbrand baby thinks that Tony's cool and doesn't want to let him get pretty much killed by a fear-crazed moon god. Cool baby that way. I'm like, okay, granted, you're a baby, so you can't really communicate your battle strategies, but you go punch a motherfucker if you need to punch a motherfucker. I'm like, you got spunk, you got grit, you got that shit. And I was like, I can't fucking do anything, I can't steer the baby. And the baby was like, I'm gonna get you. And it's like, oh shit. So, this is kind of where the two kind of points intersect, as Moon Knight's pretty much figured out that it's not Mephisto that he's been fighting. I figured that out a few punches ago. And we also see that the rest of the Avengers are getting towards the pyramid to help free T'Challa. Also, Arabi is in tow, pretty much driving a van through some ambulance through some mummies. And he's like, yeah, we kind of got to get this handled. And it's like, I need more blood. I need to finish the prayer and everything. I'm like, I'm not going to help you with your suicide. He's like, not the objective. And keeps kind of punching himself to kind of finish the prayer and give the blood. And then we see this thing. Tony's like, what the hell is that thing doing here? And then we see that the Phoenix Force appears on the scene and accepts Moon Knight as its host. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to be praying to anybody except me anymore, because he is now one with the Phoenix Force and is going to do something. It's like, oh crap. That's going to be an interesting kind of thing to see how that kind of works out in the end of this arc. I'm just like, I really like how ever since this Avengers run has started, we get all these different kind of arcs, and granted, you don't really see where they're kind of going, but they have nice, interesting kind of turns on what's going on, because when I was first reading this, I was not expecting that the Phoenix Force would be brought into play like this, but it makes sense when you're like, oh, the rest of the things from the Dawn of Man, weapon-wise, the Phoenix Force is one of those big ones. What if he uses that to stop Khonshu or whatnot, or what if that one would be a bigger one? Why not just work together with all these people to stop the machinations of all these different interdimensional Mephistos from whatever they're trying to plan? Because that is an important thing, and I like T'Challa's way better, because that usually works out better than having a crazed-ass moon god who's afraid of what's going on, having all that power. It's you're loading up an unstable glass kind of cannon. It's going to explode. It's just the matter of timing of when it will. So, having Moon Knight fused with the Phoenix Force is a pretty big kind of development, and we'll have to see kind of how he handles this and how the Avengers handle this, and how they're going to bring this to a resolution, because it's like, I'm just along for the ride. I like the journey, and I can't wait to see kind of where it keeps going, and how they're eventually going to have to handle what's going on with the Phoenix Force. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.